Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're looking into the disappearance of Sarah Wallace. November 24th, 1989, Tacoma, Washington. Age 36, 5'7" and 115 pounds. No photo. Circumstances just says she was last seen in Tacoma, Washington. Brown hair and green eyes. So they don't really give us any information, and I don't know how they got the date. Isn't this like the day before Thanksgiving or right around Thanksgiving? She just went missing. So there's no information. I hate that. No photo, nothing. Okay, so here is Tacoma, Washington, right here in this little square. Remember Vashon Island? I think there was a little old lady, like a Jane Doe, that was wrapped in a tarp and taped up or something, found near Vashon Island that they don't know who it is. I'm not sure what year it was, but I just thought of that. But we also just looked at someone named Irene Herding, and she was 75 years old. She went missing in 1990, and this was 1989. But the 75-year-old, you wouldn't think it would be related, though. But her vehicle was found by the Forest Service with a purse and camping gear, which is really weird. And her vehicle with search and rescue, of course, not finding anything. And she was 75, 5 foot tall, and 95 pounds. Then we have, what's one of the other ones? Longview, Washington. Jacqueline Fox. Did I look how far this was to Longview? Yeah, right here. We had Jacqueline Fox went missing July 1990 from Longview, Washington, which is right there near the Washington-Oregon border. She was 5'7", 110 pounds, age 29. So similar height, similar weight. Not the time length wasn't that far away, and she went missing from Longview, Washington, and which is really close to there. And then we also had Michelle Frances Loran. She was 19. She went missing from Kalama, Washington, or Kalama, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, which she was last seen with Marty Ogden, the brother of Keith Barton, he was convicted of killing Kelly South in October of 1991. And people were wondering if they didn't kill anybody else, or if they were both killers, or just the one was killer, because she was last seen with him, and he said he dropped her off a couple of blocks from her house, but nobody ever seen him drop her off. Nobody seen her where he said he dropped her off, and there was a skull found off of China Garden Road in Kalama, Washington, and the rest of her body hasn't been found yet. So then we also have Linda Lee Moore, who went missing October 1990 at the age of 29 in Seattle, Washington, and partial remains were found in a remote wilderness in Snohomish County, and I'm not sure where Snohomish County is exactly. So she also went missing. So I just wonder, you hear this is a similar time, and people are wondering maybe that Marty Ogden or Keith Barton, if they didn't kill anybody else. And then we had the girls that were going missing from the taverns too, but I don't know when the girls were going missing from the taverns. But I remember that little old lady. There was a little old lady. Let's see if I can't find her info really quick. Vashon Island. Remember that? She was wrapped in a tarp and taped up or something. But I don't remember what year it was, and I don't know if any of these are related to each other. But I just thought, wow, that's crazy, because This is all around the same time, the 1990, with Sarah Wallace and with Michelle Frances Loran and Linda Lee Moore and Jacqueline Fox. They're all missing from around the same area, around the same time. And you might think, oh, well, maybe it's that one, the Green River Killer, but I find it, I don't think he killed all of the ones that he admitted to. I don't know. I think, there's other serial killers out there, and I feel like they're just getting away with things. There it is, the one. She was found, this is 2003, though she died, 2003, 2004. So this is 20 years later, Vashon Island. This little old lady was found floating in Puget Sound just off the shore of Vashon Island, Washington. The body was wrapped in a brown blanket and blue tarp with duct tape. And I remembered that, because that's crazy. And then we have those other girls. I don't know what it is about Washington. Case files, missing, geographical, U.S. I don't know those other girls that went missing around the taverns. But there was Robinson Brothers. That's where it was. The Robinson Brothers. I don't know if both of them were killers or just one. But one of them had supposedly abducted her and raped her, and she had gotten away or something, or he let her go, I don't know. But then a year later, she was going to testify against him, and he was locked up. And the bartender seen her get into a vehicle, and he had a vehicle similar to a serial killer, but the bartender seen her get into the vehicle of the guy's brother, and then she was never seen again. So I don't know what years those were. I'm trying to see if I can't find it really quick, because I don't know if that would be around that time or not. Trying to find her name. See if I recognize it. That's weird, I don't even see it. You think I'd just see her photo and go, oh, that's her, but I don't see it, so I don't know if it was around the same time or not. This is one of them. There it is right here. This one, 1991. Wow, that's crazy. 1991, and this one is the other one. It's interesting. So it is around the same time. And this is Yakima, Washington, and I think that's really close as well. But she was last seen 9:30 p.m. She had gone out with friends to the Sports Center Tavern. The bartender told police she was seen getting into a Maroon pickup. On the Charlie Project, I believe it says that it was the brother of that other guy. This one doesn't have all that information, and I don't know if that information is accurate, but I feel like, because there's those two guys, what are they? Marty Ogden and Keith Barton, and Keith Barton was convicted of killing Kelly South, and then Michelle Frances Loran, age 19, was last seen with Marty Ogden, who claimed all these other things, like she was still alive, and he was the only one who had seen her, though, but she was supposed to be kind of afraid of him, and so then they're wondering if they didn't kill other people, and then we have these other two brothers. And are they the Robinsons? Is that their last names? Maribel was last seen Yakima, Washington, 9:30 p.m., April 23rd, 1991. She gone out with friends. The bartender saw her getting into a Maroon pickup, which he recognized as owned by Bill Robinson. She was never heard from again. According to her sister, Maribel got involved with drugs after she graduated nursing school and wound up losing her nursing career in custody of her daughter. By the time she disappeared, she was a street prostitute. She was abducted and raped by a stranger in 1990 and suffered from anxiety after the attack. The parking lot where she was last seen was the same lot she was abducted. The attacker, John Robinson, which was Bill Robinson's brother that she was seen get into his vehicle and never seen again, and he had a vehicle similar to one of those serial killers. And I'm wondering if John Robinson and Bill Robinson weren't serial killers, and because he had a similar vehicle to another serial killer, if they didn't think the other serial killer was doing it and not ever consider him. John Robinson was convicted of first-degree rape and kidnapping in her case. During his sentencing in spring of 1991, he threatened her and her family in open court. She disappeared a few weeks later, and that's when the bartender saw her getting into that Maroon pickup, which he recognized as owned by Bill Robinson, which was the brother of the man who had abducted and raped her. So, and he had been convicted. He was civilly committed as a sexual violent predator after his release from prison. He was released from the commitment center in February 2019 and went to live in Tacoma, Washington, but was returned a few months later because he violated it. And then we had this other girl who went missing, I believe, in the same parking lot in 1990 in Yakima, Washington. And what did it say? She disappeared from a parking lot in Yakima, Washington. She was last seen getting into a car with an unknown driver near Yakima Sports Center. They believe she may have been a victim of a serial killer, right? This was 1990. She disappeared same parking lot as Susan Libby Marable, who got into the vehicle, according to the bartender. I would believe that a bartender said he saw her getting into Bill Robinson's pickup truck. She was never seen from again. And the year before, she had been attacked by a stranger who was John Robinson and raped and kidnapped. So this is what the year before was 1990, and from that same parking lot was Julie Lynn Miranda. So then we've got in 1990 also, we've got Sarah Wallace in Tacoma, Washington, 36 years old. We also have Irene Herding, Herding, but she's 75 years old, so I don't know if that would be related. Then we have Jacqueline Fox, who went missing July 1990 in Longview, Washington. And how far is Longview, Washington from there? So, I think it's interesting that there was so many people that were killing people then. And so many people that were going missing in that area. Oh, that's 3 hours away, so that could be completely separate serial killers that are 3 hours away working. Isn't that crazy? So this is 3 hours away, but this one isn't. This one is Sarah Wallace, Tacoma, Washington, and then we have Jacqueline Fox missing from Longview, and Michelle Frances Loran. So I don't know. And the other one was Linda Lee Moore, Seattle, Washington. But I just thought that was interesting, and instead of just saying, oh, we have this lady and she went missing, Sarah Wallace, Tacoma, Washington, she was 36 years old, there's no information about her whatsoever. I don't know if she was married, I don't know if she had problems with a boyfriend, problems with a husband, or anything like that. But I do know that there were other people that went missing as well in that area. One an hour and a half away, another one an hour and a half away, and another 1 hour and 17 minutes away. So I just feel like it's crazy that they had that many. I don't know, maybe it was I don't know if it was because of the publicity that the one serial killer was getting that other people decided they would do things like that too. Maybe they thought they could get away with it and the other man would take credit for it, or they just wouldn't get caught because he wasn't getting caught. I don't know. But it's really scary because these two people went missing from the same parking lot. And I would think that it was the one guy, even though he had a similar vehicle to that of the serial killer. I would wonder if those two brothers weren't serial killers. And then I also wonder if Keith Barton and Marty Ogden weren't serial killers killing in this area. You know, it's just my thoughts on it. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I've done some other videos recently, and I've just thought, wow, because some of these I didn't see on the Charlie Project, and I didn't see on the Doe Network as missing. I saw them on NamUs, like this one. I saw this one on NamUs, but and I haven't went hunting for her and looked and compared her to the Jane Does that they have online, but maybe somebody will. Anyway, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Please feel free to leave some comments. And if you know any information about this case, if you remember her, maybe you have photos of her, maybe you know who she was dating, who she was hanging out with, anything that, any information that you have, maybe you want to contact authorities and let them know, because maybe you feel like they already have this information, but it's been a lot of years. Maybe you have some details that they don't have. Maybe you don't feel like it's hearsay, or you don't think it's relevant, but maybe you could give them that information anyway, because the more information they have, I think the easier it would be for them to solve the case and have the notes for other people to keep those notes, because maybe since it's been so many years, they may not have the notes, and maybe you gave them the information years ago, but since it's gone through different detectives, maybe you don't know if they have that same information. Anyway, please contact authorities with any information you have related to this case or any other cases, and don't forget to pray for her loved ones. And again, please feel free to leave comments, and have a great day. Bye-bye.